Historians believe that the only real 24-carat labubu is located in Austin, Texas. This labubu can be found every day on I-35 in Austin after it has eaten some really good food and is sitting in traffic. With an enviable waistline, this labubu sits in traffic, waiting, waiting, and waiting some more.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet. Damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna.
Hi, this is Alichi from the Cauldron. Welcome to this new series titled On the Road, Some Great Eats. And this first episode, I will be talking about some great eats that I happened upon from my road trip from Missouri to Texas. So last month, I had some business to take care of in Texas, and if you know me, you know that I started driving in 2017, and I know it will soon be 10 years, but it does not feel like that. It feels, sometimes I feel like I'm a beginner on the road. But since that time frame, I have moved from one state. When I used to live in Minnesota, I've moved from Minnesota to Missouri. I have driven from Missouri to Wisconsin. So I have done a couple road trips here and there, but nothing over 12 hours, which moving from Missouri to Texas was. So I decided to break down this trip and make some fun out of it. And the fun I got out of it was going to certain places and also trying some good food along the way. And I broke down the trip so I did not drive straight 12 hours. I drove a couple hours, got to a certain city, and then I decided, instead of just getting to this city, why not go to this other city? So that added more time to the trip. But long story short, I did it. I got to Texas, took care of my business, went back to where I was staying. So I am going to tell you about the different places I ate at while I was driving from Missouri to Texas. So my first stop for food was Los Comales, a taco place. It's not just a taco place; it's a Mexican restaurant in Columbia, Missouri. But they do serve street tacos, and I have tried their tacos here and there. And I've tried the asada, the canitas, the tripas. I really love the tripas, but I've been sleeping on their fish tacos. So I decided to try their fish tacos. They were elite. I have been missing out for ages. When I lived in that city, I never tried the fish tacos. Imagine. I realized that I was missing out the whole time. So a little FYI, if you want to order the fish tacos, you have to they do it in a set of three. So you have to order the three, and they do take a little bit longer than the other tacos, but they are delicious. I can't quite remember the fish that they use for the fish tacos. So if you're thinking of ordering that, you will have to ask them. I drove to St. Louis just for the fun of it. It wasn't part of the trip route, but I wanted to go there because I had some exhibits that I wanted to see. Magically, they had a road trip and photography exhibit titled In Search of America Photography and the Road Trip at the St. Louis Art Museum. So I wanted to see that. So I went and saw that. And then I also went and saw the Pompeii show in the St. Louis Science Center. So after that, I had some food that was okay, but it was just like snacks here and there. And another eat that I want you guys to check out if you're ever in St. Louis is this wonderful restaurant called Polite Society. So it is like an American fare, has some Mediterranean things in there. They have a charcuterie board that you can do some appetizers. Since I was already dilly dallying enough in this trip, I decided to challenge myself and drive from St. Louis to Oklahoma. So I drove to Muskogee, Oklahoma, but before I got to Muskogee, Oklahoma, I decided to stop at Springfield, Missouri. And I stopped at Karai Ramen and Sushi, and I got their ramen bowl. If you know me, you know that ramen, well, Nigerian food is part of it, but ramen is one of my travel comfort food. Like, one of the things I do when I travel is I look for a a good ramen noodle soup place. Like, it makes me feel like I've arrived. I swear, whenever I have ramen noodle soup, whenever I'm traveling, I feel so much better. I feel like I've acclimatized to the city. I feel like I can take on the city. But yes, I stopped at Springfield, went to Karai Ramen. I got it to go because I wanted to just zoom straight to Muskogee. So I did that. I also got their yuzu lemonade, which I sipped all the way to Muskogee, Oklahoma. So as I got to Oklahoma, speaking of Oklahoma, Oklahoma is the first place that I've actually seen a bison farm. Now I've seen bison roaming while I was in Arkansas. I went to Dogwood Canyon in Arkansas and I saw a couple bison, but an actual bison farm, Oklahoma was the first place I saw an actual bison farm. And that was, I think I drove into Shawnee, Oklahoma. That was where I saw it. But this was on my way to Muskogee, Oklahoma. So after I got to Muskogee, I went to the Muskogee Five Tribes Museum. If you have not seen it, you should go see it. It's just a quaint little museum, but has a lot of history in it. And they always exhibit a lot of native nations artists, and I had a blast. I learned so much. There was always, you know, there's always something to learn. And after that, I stopped by Mama C's Soul Food Kitchen. I got some soul food. I got catfish, the fried catfish. It was delicious. I got chicken and waffles. It was delicious. And I got candied yams. I didn't quite like candied yams because it was just too sweet for me. But it was okay, but I didn't quite like it because it was too sweet for me. But the greens, the colored greens were awesome. So if you're ever in Oklahoma, in Muskogee, Oklahoma, make sure you check out Mama C's Soul Food Kitchen. For my last night in Muskogee, Oklahoma, I decided to do something different. I went to a steakhouse. I went to Watson's Chop House LLC on the third LLC or LLC on the third. But I went there and I had some steak, just a regular filet mignon wrapped in bacon. I had that, and I also had some mac and cheese and some tabbouleh, which is like a salad, but like a Middle Eastern salad made with I think it was made with bulgur, or I can't remember what it was made with, but it was good. But the highlight of that night was this lobster creamy soup that was served in a cup. Just breathtaking, gorgeous. I want to learn how to make that soup, and I'm going to start making it and eating it. Like, mwah, mwah, mwah. I enjoyed that soup. Like, if you had given me, let's say, I don't know, some ravioli made in that soup or some creamy pasta made in that soup, I would have maybe had it with some, like an actual lobster on it. But the lobster soup did have lobster in it, but I was just thinking about the possibilities that that could have made into, because it was. wonderful. You could have made pasta in that soup as well. But yes, that soup I loved. And I also loved their cocktail. I got like um I can't remember the name of the margarita, but it's some margarita and it was delicious. The salt quantity was good. Because sometimes you get margaritas and you start looking at the bartender if they want to kill you with salt. But the rim, like everything was perfect. Yes. The next day, I set off to drive from Oklahoma to Texas. And I had some business to take care of in Austin, Texas, which is where I spent a bunch of time. Um, and then I was just gonna, you know, do shut eye back to where I was going. So that was the plan, and that was the plan I stuck to. But little did I know that I knew things were going to change, but I didn't know how the landscape was going to, like, I didn't know that the change would be so jarring to me. So I was driving, driving, driving. Oh, and side note, did you know that there's a river in Oklahoma called the Canadian River? But it has nothing to do with being in the borders of Canada or whatever. It's just the largest tributary of the Arkansas River. So it empties into the Arkansas River. But I think when I read about it, it was there's parts of it in Oklahoma, Texas, I think New Mexico as well. I can't quite remember. You can Google it and read about it. And you can also Google it and read about why it was named. But I thought that was interesting because when I saw Canadian River, I had a little bit of a shock to my system because I was asking myself, this is too far away from how you get to Canada. Why is there a Canadian river here? So yeah, and Oklahoma really surprised me. I don't know why I had that in my head that it would just be a bunch of flat level land, but that was not it. It had some hills and valleys to it, and you can actually see the vegetation and greenery in some places. That was stacked into some places. Not quite as gorgeous as around that Arkansas area, but still gorgeous. It has its own gorgeousness to it. But I drive, and then I think I had breakfast at the hotel. I can't remember exactly what I ate. It was just regular breakfast. Oh, and some weird nonsense happened to me that day. My car refused to start. And this is the summer. It was very hot, and I think the day I came to that hotel, some guy was talking about how his car exploded because of how hot it was, and I can't remember exactly what he put in his car, and because it was that hot, the battery and whatever it was that he put in his car exploded. So that day, my car just did not start, and I was asking, oh my God, is it gonna explode with me? And I was having all sorts of intrusive thoughts that I should not be having. But the nearest dealership that could actually take a look at what I thought was wrong with the car was about 2 miles away. So I had to call one of those tow truck people, but to come and jumpstart it, not to tow it, so I could drive there because I didn't want to pay that much. And I know I could call insurance or whatever, but I was ready to go. I was ready to be on the road. And again, things happen, maybe it saved me from whatever, something on the road. Who knows? I don't know. But I finally made it to the dealership. They looked at the car and they said it was the battery. Do you know that so that car is a 2016 car and I got it in 2017. Do you know that since 2017, I haven't changed the battery of that car, and that battery it was done. So it was good that that happened around that area and not like when I was in some kind of deserted place and I stopped my car for a little bit and then that happened, because then that would just bring on a lot of frustration. So I'm very glad that it happened where it happened. So Once I got the car taken care of, I was on my way and I was craving another ramen bowl. So I decided to stop in Dallas. But before I got to Dallas, it was just so interesting how the highway and the landscape changed. I think things were going fine highway wise, until after McAllister. Just, you see the gorgeous greenery, you see just the beautiful up and down. And then after McAllister, you start seeing yourself on a little bit of a more level ground. And then gradually it hits you. I don't know when it hit me, but it hits you when you look around and you're like, where are the trees? You're just trapped in this concrete hellscape. Like there's just like bridges, like just I mean it makes for a gorgeous skyline at night. But if you're trapped in that during the day and you're not quite used to it, if you're used to the two-lane highways in Missouri that branch off when you get to a bigger city like St. Louis to become three or four highways, but now you get thrown into, you were in the two-lane highway and now you're in like a three or four-lane highway, and there's all these cars like driving like crazy. Like the way people drive in Texas, I had the deck grip on my steering wheel when I was driving. But yeah, and you could be driving, you could make the mental calculation like, okay, I get to this lane. Once it gets to 3 miles in, I'll switch to the lane that I'm supposed to go. And you do everything right, and you get to that lane and it's closed. Like to merge into another lane. Oh my god, it was such a humbling experience. Once I got to Texas, definitely. But anyways, when I was in Texas, when I got to Dallas, Texas, I decided to stop for dinner because after that I was just going to just put my eyes in front of me. I mean, it's already in front of me, but just like this all the way to Austin. So I decided to try Jinya Ramen Bar. Wonderful. The portions were really big. I mean, it was a good size. I'm not gonna say really big and then they will now reduce it. No, it was a good size, and it wasn't like a ramen where you get everything already added into the bowl and then they bring it to you. No, you you order the other things as an add-on, and then they bring you plates of other things. So plates of bean sprouts, plates of mushroom, plates of this, plates of that. The only thing in the bowl they give you, I think it's the ramen noodles and the actual meat it comes with. So let's say if you order spicy chicken ramen, they'll bring you that spicy chicken ramen. If you order extra pork, they'll bring you a plate with the extra pork. Then they'll bring you all the other things that are add-ons, like your corn, your spinach, whatever, will be brought in plates to you, and then you now add it in yourself. Well, it was a very sizable ramen bowl that I had, and I think I got like some kind of matcha drink to go. I don't know if it was matcha. Yeah, I think it was some kind of matcha drink that I got just to sip in my car as I drove to Austin. Yeah, so that was it for Dallas, Texas. So another thing to know about me is whenever I travel, yes, I love a good ramen bowl. I love a good Korean barbecue. But another thing I look for in every city, I mean, I eat other of the food and other of the restaurants, but the things that I keenly look for is a good Nigerian restaurant. If they have a Nigerian restaurant in that city, I will be trying it. So that was one of the things I did when I got to Austin, Texas. I tried a Nigerian restaurant. I got the jollof rice for lunch. I did take out because I was really tired when I got here. Well, when I got here it was already night. So the next day I was so tired, so I decided to just go get takeout and then go back to my hotel room, eat one for lunch, eat one for dinner. That way I'll just be inside I'm gonna eat and sleep all day, and then the next day I'll be heading out to do the thing I came to do in Austin. So that was what I decided to do. So I went to this Nigerian restaurant called African Market and Nigerian Restaurant, which it it sounds, it's good branding on Google Maps because once you type it in, it pops up. So it's good like that. But you also feel like, why doesn't it have an inventive name? But the name works for it. So that was the first place I went to. So I tried jollof rice, of course, with chicken, I believe. And then I got like a stick of suya, like I think one kebab of suya just to see. And I also got nsala soup, of nsala. I guess we ate insala soup, but it was called ofede, I think. So this was a restaurant I was eating insala soup called insala soup. So I ordered it. It was good. I didn't quite have a mental history of food, to compare it to. But if it was compared to the offer that my mom or my grandma made, it's incomparable. But if it's just trying ofen salad for the first time, it was good. The jollof rice, amazing. The chicken, great. The kebab, the suya kebab, for meat kebab is good, but you can't call it suya. But after that, I think I've been to that Nigerian restaurant a couple other times and I've tried some other things that were good. I tried their vegetable soup and it was good. So, yes, I did that. And then the next day, after I went to every other thing that I had to do, I tried a suya place. It's called Suya Grill House, Austin, Texas. They don't have like a $10 suya or $15 suya. They have like, I think it starts from $30. So they have ram suya, beef suya. I can't remember what the other one on the menu was. But the meat is quite a lot. Like if you are alone, you can eat the meat from that suya for like easily 3 or 4 meals. So I tried that. I got the suya and I got a side of jollof rice. I really love the jollof rice because it's so smoky. So I got that. And then I also got plantain, a side of plantain. So that was really good. That lasted me for a couple meals actually. And then I decided to try another suya place. The beef suya from Afro Grill House was just so delicious. I enjoyed it. And remember, I ordered the jollof rice with chicken, and I also ordered the some plantain. Another thing is the spicy sauce, the spicy dipping sauce, the almost like a stew sauce, tomato sauce for the plantain for from Afro Grill House is wonderful. And side note, suya is one of those things that Nigerians try to recreate whenever they're outside the country and they don't quite get. And sometimes it's not the meat itself, because a lot of people can do good with the meat. Sometimes it's the suya, the powder, the powder you spray on it, that peanut powder, whatever. Like these two places did like amazing and excellent. Of course, it's never going to compare to the one you get to that malam at the roadside in a street in somewhere in Nigeria. But they came very, very close. I won't be surprised if they keep making, keep doing, keep improving. I won't be surprised if you come back a year or even two. It would be. But yes, those two places, wonderful. Suya Grill House ATX and Afro Grill House. Afro Grill House, you have to check the time that this place is open because Afro Grill House, they are the ones that have the food truck and they open around 7 p.m. and they're not always open every day of the week. So you have to check. I think they open around the weekend time. And then Suya Grill House, um, They open around 3 p.m., sometimes I think 4 p.m. I'm not sure, but you have to check. It's like an afternoon opening. So, and I don't think they open all days of the week either. So you have to check these two places before you go. But all in all, food was delicious, 10 out of 10. Um, Later, because I had to stay in Austin for a little bit longer than I expected. Later, I tried shawarma from Suya Grill House. Wonderful, just wonderful. Their beef shawarma is, I loved it, just wonderful. So yeah, Taliat Kitchen is another place, and their spicy goat meat, their asun, is gorgeous. Delicious, not gorgeous, delicious. I mean, it looks gorgeous too, but you gotta eat it. In Austin, there is this place called Sando where they have, it's just basically Japanese sandwiches or Japanese Korean sandwiches, but they have a variety really. And I'm sure there's other things that they sell in there, but I went there specifically for the sandwiches. So I got the mix, and the mix had like, there was a fish one, and I think one of them had the pork chiasu sandwich, and then the other one had like a strawberry and cream filling. Delicious. Another thing with this place is that they open, I think they open from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. and they don't open all days of the week. And if you buy their sandwich, I think you have 4 days to eat it from the day it was made. And of course, you store it in the fridge. So, given all these things, um, eh, again, I think it's best eating there. But if you have to take it out, these are the things that they tell you. But it's wonderful, amazing. I enjoyed it. And if I lived closer to there, best believe that's probably what I'll be taking to, or taking to work for lunch, really. So that, because it's quick, it's delicious, and you eat it cold, you don't even have to microwave, so it cuts down that couple minutes of your break time that you have to spend microwaving food. So there's that. But it's, I see me making that, those sandwiches. I see that in a very near future. So I'm going to learn how to make that. Another thing to check out in Austin, or another place to check out in Austin, is Tan Mai restaurant. So it's this Vietnamese restaurant, and I love noodle soup, but I also love pho. So you gotta get some pho. So I went to Tan Mai restaurant, and I got pho, and I also got the Thai tea. But my God, the pho, I think they have the most delicious pho in Austin. I don't know why. I don't know why I feel that way, but I feel that way. Okay. I got the number two on the menu, and it had almost everything. It had the tripe, it had the it's not gelatin. Gosh, I can't remember the name of this. But it had almost everything, almost all the meats. And I like the way the pho here is served versus the pho in some other restaurants I've gone to in other states. I like how the pho here is served, the meat already in the soup, so the raw meat is not brought to you and then you have to put it in. Because I always wonder, am I cooking it right? I mean, it's not, you're not cooking it, but the hot soup is gonna cook it. But here the meat is already in the soup. It was just so refreshing, and just something about it was just so good, and I really loved it. So yes, that is 100% recommend Tan Mai restaurant. In sidebar, there's a lot of churches in Austin, and a lot of the Asian community here is like a big, like, it's not like a New York City or San Francisco Asian community, but it's like a sizable Asian community. And there's a lot of Asian churches here in Austin too. Like I believe the whole churches in Austin, that's the only thing saving traffic. It's the prayers of the churches, the whole churches in Austin. It's the prayers, man. That's what's saving us in traffic. Because the way people drive here, I don't know if I don't know how people that live here get used to it. I don't know. But Jesus Christ. Anyways, moving on. Another place, another Vietnamese place that you should try is Pho Dan. So their pho is good, but I think, me personally, I think that where they shine is their vermicelli noodle bowls. I don't know. I think it's just so good. Like I got the one with the pork skin. I mean, I got pho there. The pho was also good, but I think their vermicelli is better. Like the vermicelli bowls that they do with like noodles and meat and sauces. That I think theirs is really good. Another place is Fo Fanglo or Fa Fanglo. I might be butchering the name, but it's another place, and it's of course they have pho in there, but I've tried their pho, also wonderful. But my favorite is their chicken wings, and if you know me, you know I like, I won't say dry chicken because it's not dry, but crispy skin chicken. Crispy skin chicken, the inside is a little juicy, but not too juicy. Yes, gold. And they have this garlicky sauce that they put on it. Like, just, you have to try it to know what I'm talking about. But it's really good. That is one of the things they shine. One of the things that I love from them. I also love their pho. And I went there two times while I was in Austin. And the waitress, she just like, she sees you once. I don't know if it's because I dyed my hair when I was there, but she sees you once and then you go the next day, she recognizes you and she knows your order. And another thing with this restaurant is they do bottled water. They don't do like cup water for you. They do bottled water. And another thing is that they next door to them is a place called HKT, and HKT sells bubble tea. So, or boba tea. So you can just get your bubble tea and then check them out or vice versa. So yeah, I again, it's another place that I'll 100% recommend. When I came back, I had some caviar, so I just put them on the wing. I got some of the wings to go because I didn't finish them all in there. When I came back, I put some caviar on the wings, and it was delicious like that. Salty, like added to like the saltiness of the caviar, added to like the garlickiness and of the wings. Like it was just ah. If you've ever watched that TV show Empire, there is a song in there where it goes with no apologies. That is what you want to have in your head when you're driving in Austin, Texas. You have to get to a point where you can merge with no apologies. Because even if you anticipate your merge or your turn and you get ready for it, you might get there and that road will be closed for construction. So you have no other choice than to merge. And the drivers here do let you merge. And I think one of the reasons why they let you merge is because they realize that we are all in this together, and things are already so expensive in the world. I don't think anybody wants to hit anybody's car. So they will be frustrated. They will honk at you, but they will let you merge. And then there is some demons. They're know that a road is closed, but then they race to the front and then merge in the front. Now, those people still give them a hard time, but they still let them merge. Yeah, so driving here, and again, Megan Thee Stallion said it was bigger in Texas. There are a lot of things that are big in Texas, but I think Austin roads did not get the memo because the highways are so small. Like, I drove here from the Midwest. The Midwest, yes, we may have two large highway roads, right? But even when you get to a bigger city like, let's say, St. Louis, those highways will widen more, and then to accommodate, you have many lanes, at least 3 or 4 lanes, but there will still be bigger lanes. But here in Austin, man, I don't know, the highways are so narrow as well, and the traffic. All it takes is one bad accident. Not even a bad accident. All it takes is one, I don't know, somebody hit another person's car. Maybe nothing serious, like no serious injury happened, but like that's all it takes to just shut down that road for a while. And the weirdest thing is you can wake up very early in the morning and on a road that you drove on yesterday, and then that road will be closed for construction. As Beyonce said, driving through Texas. Just like that, I got to my last night in Austin. So I decided to try this Indian restaurant called Sankalp, the Taste of India, or Taste of India. Can't quite remember. But I went there and I tried Pani Puri for the first time. And I loved it. And it's just this little balls that are hollow, a little hollow inside. And then they give you like a sweet and a spicy sauce. The sauce have like some little fried, um not, it's not nuts, it's like little fried balls, very tiny fried balls. I can't quite remember what they're made of, but you put it in there and then you try, and then they also give you a side of onion and um cilantro if you ask for it. Then you put it in and then you try them. Oh, delicious. It was really good. And after that, I decided to try the fish pepper fry. That was also wonderful and delicious. When I first tried it, I was like, because I told them to make it spicy the way it normally comes. Don't water it down for me, right? So when I first tried it, I was like, why are they treating me like this? Why did they decide not to make it spicy? But you have to wait about 2, 3 seconds because the spiciness will kick in. So when you put it in your mouth, it doesn't start like spicing you up immediately. You have to give it just a bit and then it will come in. So that, because when I first tasted, I was like, why now? They should have. I mean, it was already tasting good, but they should have made it spicier. But no, it will kick in. I promise you. So yes, after trying that, I also asked for. While I was trying that, I asked for a mojito because I was gonna drive back where I was staying. I didn't want to drink and drive, so I asked for a mojito, like a regular mojito. I asked for the mint one. That was also delicious, and I also asked for the aloo paratha, the bread, and then they brought some dipping sauce. They brought the yogurt, the spicy. They said it was spicy yogurt, but I prefer to call it spiced yogurt because spicy means it's hot to me, but spiced means there's other things in it. So the spiced yogurt, I prefer the spiced yogurt dipping to the red dipping that it brought because it added more flavor to the aloo paratha bread. And aloo paratha, I think, is bread, but it has like it's stuffed with potatoes. I think yes. So that was just so. It was such a wonderful meal. I enjoyed myself, and it was wonderful. I 100% recommend Sunculp restaurant. So I left in the afternoon, and before I left, of course, I started this journey with tacos. I decided to end this journey, well, not end this journey, but leave this city with tacos. So what did I do? I stopped by La Tranca's taco stand. It's a food truck, but it's parked in an enclosure that also has a sitting area where people can sit and enjoy their tacos, right? So I got there and I ordered the tripa tacos. I think I ordered one of the pork skin tacos just to see how that was. And then I also ordered one of the pork stomach because tripa is beef stomach. Think it's buche, but I might be wrong. That is pork stomach. I might be wrong. That might be the I can't remember. But I ordered one of the pork stomach, some of the trippers. I think two of the trippers and one canitas and one of the pork skin. Delicious tacos. 100% recommend. So, yes, we are at the end of this episode of On the Road. I am so happy. I am so grateful that I was able to make this trip and come back. Um, I had a lot of fear associated with this trip. I don't know what it was. I think it was just driving, like just seeing that 12 hours on the GPS, or like over 12 hours on the GPS. I don't know. I think it did something to me. And it was just nice to break it down and drive shorter distance. Now, I've driven 7 hours before to somewhere. I think that's the longest I've driven in a day. So, and luckily the road trips I've had to do in the past have always been less than 7 hours. So just seeing that 12 hours, it scared me a little bit. And I told myself, hey, you can do this. Okay, you can do this. And I did it. And I am so happy and I am so proud. And I am so glad that I got to see these places, try these places. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about driving in some places like Texas. I learned a lot really about just certain things to do before a trip, certain things to take care of, like when it comes to like your car wise, all those things. I learned a lot on this trip, and I am grateful for it. So yes, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you watch my other videos on travel and lifestyle, and please make sure you buy my book, Taste for Hypocrisy, my collection of poems. It is on Amazon right now, and it is 13.49 for the paperback and 8.99 for the ebook. I love you. Thank you so much for watching.